Yuki-onna, the Crystalline Pact. A tale from the depths of the Sunland Snows.
Hello, welcome to the Great Hope channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Years ago, on the snowy slopes of Mount Akeda, two woodcutters were caught in a deadly storm, young Minokichi and his elderly master, Mosaku. Facing desperate and freezing conditions, they reached an abandoned hut. They stepped inside to take shelter and save their lives, unaware that the entire mountain was in the grip of the Yuki-onna, the Snow Woman. At midnight, as the storm intensified, the doors of the hut trembled. Minokichi awoke. He saw the Snow Woman standing over his master, wearing clothes of absolute whiteness, with a face carved of ice and illuminated by moonlight. Mosaku stood no chance. His frail and elderly life could not endure the demonic frost. One could see the light of the old man's life fading away from just inches apart, reflected in the young man's astonished eyes. With horrifying calmness, the Yuki-onna sent a cold breath toward the old man's face, freezing the blood in his veins. Minokichi, still paralyzed and in shock, huddled in the corner, witnessing what was slowly unfolding. Then, the Snow Woman turned toward Minokichi. The deathly chill radiating from her eyes crept toward the young man like a dark and terrifying serpent. The blood in Minokichi's veins slowed to a crawl, and his eyelids grew heavy. With a beauty that was mesmerizing yet lifeless, the Yuki-onna stared down at him, whispering in a voice that seemed to come from another world. You are young and beautiful, so tonight I shall spare you, and I will not destroy the warmth of your being. But know this, if ever you recount this event to anyone, I will instantly imprison your soul within the crystals of snow. Then, the flow of blood in your veins shall stand still forever, like a frozen river. This is the pact between us. A year passed since that wondrous event. Minokichi met a girl named Oyuki, a beautiful and dignified woman with hands as soft as snowflakes. They married and had children. A deep and mutual love blossomed between them, a bond intertwined like links of a chain. Minokichi grew so immersed in happiness that the cold night on the mountain became nothing but a faint and dreamlike nightmare to him. He forgot that on the night of the incident, the Snow Woman had cast no shadow in the dim light of the hut. He never pondered the coincidence that his wife, Oyuki, never sweated in the summer heat, and unlike all mortals, cast no shadow on the ground, even under the direct sunlight. Years passed. Their loving life was woven together like a strong hempen rope. It would fray but never tear apart. On a cold winter night, as heavy snow blanketed the small town, Minokichi stared at his wife's face under the dim light of the Andon paper lamp and unconsciously said, "Whenever it snows, I unintentionally recall that cold night on Mount Akeda." The smile vanished from the woman's lips. "Which night?" she asked in a quiet voice. Minokichi, having drunk a little more sake than usual, did not notice his wife's inner and outer transformation. He laughed and said, "The same night I saw that ice woman. You look so much like her, oh Yuki." All at once, a deathly silence engulfed the house. Oyuki stood up slowly. Her complexion turned into the pale, colorless hue of a frozen lake. She spoke with a voice that seemed to rise from the depths of the cold, dark mountain caves. "You uttered the memory. The pact is broken now." Minokichi, who had just sobered up from his beautiful snowy night, froze in his spot. He looked at his wife, but there was no trace left of the kind woman. He froze, because Oyuki had returned to the exact visage Minokichi remembered from that night, cold, lifeless, and reminiscent of death. The man's mouth hung open, and that same sensation of death from the abandoned cabin washed over him. How harsh and unbelievable it was for him to suddenly see that the most loving woman in town was the snow woman, Yuki Onna. The Yuki Onna glanced at their sleeping children. Then her heart desired to become Oyuki again. Her frozen eyes found life once more, and the light of existence returned to them. For the first time, those icy eyes filled with tears, frozen yet warm. "Weeping," the snow lady said. "If not for these children, I would have had to stay true to my pact and breathe the frost of freezing upon your very being tonight. But now..." Her footsteps made no sound upon the wooden floors of the house. She walked calmly toward the blizzard outside and vanished forever. From that day on, Minokichi never saw her again. Yet every year, when the first winter snow settled upon the roof of his house, he knew that amidst the cold mountain winds, someone was still standing guard, watching over him and his children.